All right. Good afternoon, everybody.
Afternoon.
Um, my name's Ed McKenna. Thanks so much for coming out today. Uh, thank you very much, Lois, for inviting me. And what I'm going to do is share a little bit of information with you about myself and the company, and then more specifically about the trip to South Dakota. So it's going to be leaving May 16th, returning on the 23rd, and with air included, 3119 per person, assuming that two of you are in the room. Am I coming in loud and clear, Lois?
You are, yes.
Okay, excellent.
All's
excellent.
good.
Okay. All right. Just a little bit about myself. I've been with the company for 33 years now. Live here in South Lyon and just east of Brighton, and love to travel. And that's my family. We love to travel. And as you can see, we're a divided family, and we have a lot of fun with that too. So we are in our 106th year of being in business. We're family owned. And this past year, we had 152 different packages touching upon all 7 continents. And we are one of those companies you'll see on.
The sound is fading. The sound is fading.
Okay, thank you.
Can
Sometimes
you
it's
say
right
what
after
you
that
just said
little
again,
video.
please?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you say
Okay.
what you just said again, please?
Yeah, I think it was that video part. Yeah, we're in our 106th year anniversary of being in business. We're family owned, and we had 152 packages this past year, touching on all 7 continents. And we are one of those companies you'll see on the Wheel of Fortune. And Friday night is usually our night on the Wheel of Fortune. So check us out there. We're also on the Hallmark channel this past December as well. And there's a big difference between going to a place like South Dakota and doing it on your own versus doing it as a guided tour. And the big difference is making everything simple, making everything easy for you, for everything from the planning stages to actually getting there and experiencing the destination day in and day out. The guides will let you know where and when to be each part of the day. You have all your breakfast included, at least half of your dinners, and a lot of iconic sightseeing that you really should see when you're at that destination. And by design, we allow some free time so that you can either relax, rest, or pursue areas of your own interest. And you can sit down one-to-one with that tour manager and kind of talk through how you could use that time in the most efficient manner. So you really get the best of both worlds. So this is actually it says 7 days, and I believe we added an extra day in on the pre, right, Lois?
We have a pre-night, yes. We're
Yeah,
going
so
out the day before so they can get their bearings and rest up and recover from the flight.
Yep, so that's a great strategy. Lois implemented that. I think that's a great idea. So that makes it an 8-day program. And when you think of South Dakota, what are some of the things you think about? Mount Rushmore, Badlands, Devil's Tower, and of course, our Native American heritage. So all those things are going to be incorporated into this itinerary for you. The best part is staying at one hotel and then spoking out from there. So no packing and unpacking. And we're taking in all those things, the Badlands, Mount Rushmore, Crazy Horse National Monument, Custer State Park, Deadwood, and of course, Devil's Tower National Monument. And we rank our tours on a physical activity level of 1 to 4, 4 being the most challenging. This one is a level 2, which means relatively simple and easy. That means being able to walk, 3 to 4 miles on uneven terrain over the course of an entire day, able to get off and on the bus with ease, and being able to handle some altitudes up to 6,000 feet. All right, so on that first day of actually touring, we're going to be in Rapid City for all 7 nights. Okay, it's an interesting city. It's nestled against the Black Hills, and it also serves as kind of the gateway into the past and the present, kind of the jumping point into the Wild West of Deadwood, and it's really a hub for the Native American heritage too. So we're going to delve right into Native American lifestyle, we're going to gather for a welcome dinner with a Native American chronicler who shares stories about the Lakota Indians and the Sioux Indians way of life. Okay. We're also going to get out to an area known as the Chapel in the Hills, which is an exact replica of the Borgen Stave Church in Norway. And you'll learn about the story of the early Westerners came here during the gold rush years. And some of the articles that they brought over from Norway were made by Scandinavians in this country during the 1800s. All right, so we're going to continue on there. Really started off with the bang. Probably the most iconic site on this entire tour is Mount Rushmore. Spend some time with these figures: Washington, Jefferson, Roosevelt, Lincoln. They stretch over 60 feet tall. Now, their original intent was to go all the way down to the west or waist, but Victor Borglum, the designer, unfortunately passed away doing this. So over 400 workers were put to task at creating this great sculpture. It took over 12 years. And in the evening, we go back there when they do the lighting ceremony. So it's very cool to see that. Although I think that actually starts in June. So I may have misspoke about that. The other thing is with Colette, most people come here and see, or with most companies, they come here, they see the front of Mount Rushmore. But at Colette, we want you to get the full view. We take you to see the back of Mount Rushmore. So you're going to get the full experience here and learn it all, learn about it all. All right. So during your visit, you also have a chance to stroll along the Presidential Trail, which offers the closest access to being up close to the sculpture. It stretches for about half a mile, winding through the nice pine trees and kind of being out there in nature. It's a paved trail, and it's the best way to see the presidents up close. And people really enjoy this.
So that's walker and wheelchair accessible, correct?
I believe it is. I can't speak firsthand as I have not done that myself. Okay. From there, we're going to be visiting the Lakota Living History Village. The Lakota are one of the 7 tribes that make up the Great Sioux Nation, and you're going to hear in their own voices about their history. It's very interesting. Then from there, on to the Badlands. We're going to be visiting the Badlands National Park. We're going to stop in at the visitor center, see some of the informative exhibits. They've got displays, videos. The park itself covers 244,000 acres. And when you get up close to the edge of these Badlands, or the, what they're really made of, it's kind of like a sedimentary, like a shell. So if you were to try walking on it, some of it kind of falls out beneath your feet. So not necessarily the safest thing to be walking on. And it was formed back about 75 million years ago when these were ancient oceans, and you can almost see where the ocean was kind of settling there as well. From there, we're going to continue on the Badlands Loop Road. Vibrant displays of colors in the various rock formations, and that's all from the mineral deposits. And then we're going to stop at the infamous Wall Drug. You're going to see signs for Wall Drug. They actually start them miles and like hundreds of miles away as you get closer. It initially started out as a place to get ice water, as a refresher, and now it's become this iconic touristy spot. Great place to do shopping, purchasing things, with the Native American heritage, dream catchers, hand-carved jewelry, and of course, it's a great place to stop and allow people to have lunch too. All right. So this morning, it's your choice in Deadwood. You can take in the guided tour of the Adams House or visit the Kevin Costner Tatanka Story of the Bison. Okay. And then in Deadwood, we're going to explore one of the Old West more iconic settlements. You're going to feel like you've gone back in time and wandering through the saloons, and imagine yourself, walking into a strange place. There's sharpshooters all around you, risky gamblers, You never know. You're, putting your life on the line, walking into a strange town like this. And, this will definitely give you those feelings. From there, we're going to continue further into the history of the city, and we're going to visit the Mount Moriah Cemetery, which is the final resting place of Wild Bill Hickok, Calamity Jane, and some of the other more prominent figures of the West during that time. That evening, you're going to enjoy a memorable dinner, a Western show at the High Plains Heritage Center. Then the next day, venturing out through Custer State Park. So you're going to really start to see the buffalo roaming in this area, the bighorn sheep, the elk at times can be spotted, lots of deer, prairie dogs. You may see coyote, wolves, just some of the wildlife that you'll see out in the area. And Custer State Park is South Dakota's very first state park. So this wildlife reserve covers about 70,000 acres. It's home to a legendary herd of free-roaming bison. There's about 1,500 of them now. However, that's a very small portion of what they used to have back in the early 16 and 1700s. And I once saw a newspaper account that said a train was stopped for 22 hours until this herd of buffalo continuously roaming across the tracks finally cleared. That's how thick these animals were back in the day. And again, these are the large, magnificent animals. They shake the ground when they walk. And we're going to do an open air Jeep safari going in and out and getting close to the buffalo. So you'll love this. From there, in the afternoon, we're going to go up to the Crazy Horse Memorial, known as the world's largest sculpture. Began in 1948, still a work in progress. It's going to be really depicting the Battle of Little Bighorn. Okay, so it started over 70 years ago. It's supposed to be finished in 2030. We will see, but it's starting to come together. You can see the face really well now. And then at that site, you've got the Indian Museum of North America, the Native American Culture Center, the Sculptor's Studio. There's an orientation center, the theater, and many of the Native American artists and craftspeople work at this memorial. So you're watching them create their jewelry, making the dream catchers, carving, and so forth. And the museum touches upon over 300 native nations. Believe it or not, that's how many there were. All right. So from there, if you've ever seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind, that formation there will look very familiar to you. That is Devil's Tower. It's right there in the middle of the Northern Plains, and it's this giant monolithic rock. It's about 1.3-mile tower trail around the base, and it's created during these volcanic formations. And there's a place down in Antarctica that looks very familiar to that. So geologists are really into this, and they'll be able, the tour manager will explain some things about that. And if you remember in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, this is what Richard Dreyfuss was obsessed with creating this after he was exposed to the aliens. And then at the end, we always have this farewell dinner, bringing this great experience all to an end. And just to kind of, summarize all the things that you're going to be experiencing, you're going to have 7 nights in Rapid City. You're going to delve into the country's Native American history with a local Native American kind of chronicling the history of the Lakota and the Sioux tribes. You're going to visit the living history village of Oglala and Lakota, taking in the sculptures of Mount Rushmore and Crazy Horse Memorial, and working your way along the iconic pinnacles of the Badlands, walking into the footsteps of Wild Bill Hickok and Deadwood. And the other thing, Deadwood has statues of a lot of the presidents throughout the city, which is pretty cool and people enjoy. You're going to have either a guided tour of the Adams House or visiting Kevin Costner's Tatanka Story of the Bison. And also you're going to be viewing Devil's Tower, plus the Jeep Safari out there, getting up close and personal to the bison. So all that in a beautiful, dynamic week. It mentions on the brochure, round trip air included. We take that one step further, and that's also going to be supplying transportation to and from the airport for you. Lois will let you know where that stop's going to be. So you won't have to pay for parking, but it'll make it nice and convenient for you to get out there and to go together as a group.
It will be right here at the village. So CB1 or Great Lakes, as well as St. Clair entrance.
All right. We also have the insurance that we're able to offer that allows you the ability to cancel for any reason right up to the day prior to departure. Bad hair day, volcano erupted in Detroit, Michigan. You don't really need a reason. So very important stuff these days. Our insurance has been mentioned in the New York Times and the USA Today as one of the more comprehensive in the industry, and also one of the most competitively priced as well. So it's kind of like car insurance or home insurance. You hope you never need it, but the one time that you do, you're really glad that you have it. And when I travel with my family, I get it every single time. And unfortunately, I've had to use it as well.
Yes, the air is included. Somebody asked if the air was included. Yes.
Yep. And then it also has some other amenities where it'll cover baggage loss or delays or medical assistance, evacuation. All those are wrapped into it as well. So that is $349 per person. And we also have a loyalty program that has just been enhanced. And if your second trip with us is within 12 months of the previous trip, you receive 100, or actually it's now going to be, you receive a 5% discount of what your original tour was. And if your second trip isn't until 13 to 24 months from the previous trip, then it's a 3% of the value of the first trip discount off the second trip. And that's of the land tour, of the land cost. Okay. And then if you've got 3 trips with us, I think it's like an extra $100 off of options or upgrades to air and things like that. So it's just been rolled out this month, so we're still getting more details rolled out to everybody. Good news is you don't need a passport or a visa to go to South Dakota, but you do need your valid driver's license or state issued ID. Okay. And you can sign up through the link here. And also you can sign up by taking your phone picture or camera and taking a picture of the QR code. That will bring the link up and the sign up now button for you. And to save your space on the trip, it's $698 deposit, plus the insurance of $349 is to be paid with the deposit. So that'd be $1,047 per person. And we are holding a total of 24 seats for the village travelers up until November 17th. We already have 7 people signed up. So we have 17 spots still remaining. The good news is you can sign up early. Make sure you save your spot on that trip, like today or tomorrow, and yet still have up until November 17th where you could change your mind and cancel and get both your deposit and the insurance back if you cancel by November 17th. Now, after November 17th, you can cancel all the way up to the day prior to departure and receive a full refund, but we would retain the insurance of the $349 at that point. Okay. So it's $31.19 per person, assuming that 2 of you are in the room, or $37.89 as a single, or as a triple, $307. Okay. So South Dakota has so much to offer. Going with your fellow local travelers, having Lois go with you makes it much more fun. And May is really a good time to get out there as well. It's before you get all the clouds coming and so forth, and before it gets too intensely hot. So it's actually almost the perfect time to go. So I want to say thank you for checking out the possibilities. I hope it'll work for you. If it doesn't, thanks for at least checking it out, and open it up to questions you folks may have.
Questions, anybody? May 16th to the 23rd. Do you have any pictures, Ed, of the place where we're gonna stay, the Residence Inn Marriott, in Rapid City there?
Sorry, I do not, Lois.
Okay. So you can go online and look at that. It's very, very nice, all handicap accessible. So we tried to pick, you know, since the Italy trip is very advanced, Kathy's taking that group, that'll be like a level 3 or 4. Then we tried to pick this that would be easier for those of us with physical challenges. Yeah, there's no reason somebody can't take their what do you call it? Power? Oh yeah, power chair. There's no reason somebody can't take a power chair, right?
Is that like a big cart? Or like a
No.
I guess I don't know what the power chair is.
Yeah, it's just an electric wheelchair. Let me see if I can show you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I couldn't see it. Is it something that folds up?
Yes. But would the steps on the bus come down, right?
I don't believe so, no. It's not like a handicap bus, no.
Okay, so you don't know about that. I'll have to check into that then.
That I do know. It's not like a handicap bus. They would have to be able to get up and down the stairs.
Okay, okay, all right.
Yeah.
And I do have hard copy forms for those of you that don't do the computer. The computer at this point is the easiest way to do it, but I have these as well, okay? So if you choose to do it this way, then I can enter it. Now, unlike your day trips or other trips directly with Village Travelers only, this is obviously with Colette. You can use your credit card for this, okay? I realize you're used to the checks for the day trips and those kinds of things, but this one is credit card only, okay? Questions? Other questions? Okay, I guess we're good at the moment.
Okay.
I appreciate your time and energy, and we can open the floor for discussion now. Okay,
You're all set with me, Lois?
I am. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much. And I'll send you the copy of the recording tomorrow when I receive it.
Okay, thank you. Marvin,
Thanks, Lois. Have a great day out there. Thank you, everybody.
you want one of these, Marvin? You said you wanted one of these? For the South Dakota? Do you want that with this? Okay,
Thank you.
okay.
Bye, Lois. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Talk to you later.